anytime you read a word like this, chosen, predestined, determined, or elected, there's usually a question that starts to go off in people's minds. It's a question that we should pay attention to. It's a very important theological debate that rages on. What does it mean, question mark? You guys are like, I don't know, Eric was left-handed, you know? There we go, chosen. What does it mean to be chosen? What does it mean to be chosen? The question, of course, is usually set up in two ways. Does God choose us or do we choose God? Does God choose us, elect us, determine to save us and not other people? Or do we choose God? This is an important question. You guys want to know what the answer is? Yes is the answer, or yes is that you want to know the answer? Yes. The answer is yes. That's it. It is. It's yes. Does God choose us or do we choose God? Yes. And you're like, pastors always do stuff like that. What does that mean? Let me explain. Let me explain. God has chosen to bring the gospel to us, and God has chosen to save anybody that would trust the gospel message. He has chosen to give his son for us, and anybody that chooses to trust in his son, build their life on Jesus, the son, doesn't mean offspring of, son means kind of fully God. Anyone who chooses to trust Jesus, they are saved, okay? God doesn't have to do any of that, but he has chosen to do that. He has chosen to send Jesus, and he has chosen to save. And we choose to respond. Both are true. Does God choose us or do we choose God? Yes. God has chosen to bring the gospel to the whole world, and he has chosen to save anyone who would receive and trust in the gospel. Now, this really mattered in Thessalonica because, of course, they were meeting in a synagogue. And so many of the Jewish people had grown up believing that God had just chosen Israel to be a light to the world, to be a light to the Gentiles. Gentiles are there in the synagogue. They're God-fearing Gentiles, okay? They weren't raised inside of the Jewish community, but they are beginning to find their way into it. And now the gospel message, God's favor and promise to people, to the whole world, it's not just to Israel, through Israel, to everybody else. It is to everybody else now. So God has chosen the whole world. Not individuals, but all people. If you want to look this up a little bit more, you could look at Ephesians chapter 1. In Ephesians chapter 1, we see a few important things. We are not transformed so that we can believe the truth. When we trust the truth, it's so powerful it transforms us. We do not receive the power of God so that we believe. We believe, and the Holy Spirit comes into our lives, the power of God. That is the order in Ephesians chapter 1. In fact, it's the order that we see here in the text, okay? So we've unpacked the chosen concept just a little bit.